Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Boostly Podcast. This is the finale of season 10 of the Boostly Podcast, and today I'm going to be talking about a tactic that not many people are sharing with you right now. Let's jump in.
Having a blast, gonna get it on the Boostly Podcast. Boostly like Bruce Lee, cause it's so hard and the T is loose leaf. Making up those rhymes, don't write it, just do it loosely. If you want my respect, you better put direct. Here are the words in the podcast, that's what comes next.
Okay, so first and foremost, let's get into it. So what am I talking about? Well, I'm going to be talking about influencer marketing. And influencer marketing is something that so many people don't understand. And because they don't understand it, then when I say influencer marketing, then basically a lot of people just turn or roll their eyes to it. Because it does have a bad rep, and you know, I will quite easily say that I do see so many people that have tried it and have tested it, and people who have maybe not done so yet. But again, this is something that I want to talk to you about because it is really important, and I think it's really important that so many of you are adopting this tactic in 2021 and beyond. Now, what is an influencer? Now, I have done an episode with Harry from the Goat Agency, and I've done an episode with Manny, Hotel Man, based out of Liverpool, and we have discussed the many different forms of influencers. I think when we hear the term influencer, social media influencer, Instagram influencer, we assume that it's somebody that's got millions of followers, when really what I'm talking about here and I'm alluding to is what's known as a micro influencer or a nano influencer, somebody that maybe has between 1,000 and 10,000 followers. This is somebody that is going to be, number one, easily attainable, so you can easily reach out to them and send a message to them and have a conversation with them quite easily without having to talk to maybe their agent or a manager, etc. But it's also as well somebody who has got an uber engaged audience. So what that means is that when they put a post out and they do a recommendation, their audience are much more likely to act than if it is somebody that's got millions upon millions upon millions of followers. So let's just break down what we're talking about here. So there's been a lot of members of the Boostly Academy and people that I watch and follow who have started to talk about that they've worked with an influencer over the course of maybe the past year. Sarah Peabody, based out west of the world, she recently put a post up in the hospitality community saying that she worked with an influencer and was a little bit stuck on what to do now. So what I want to do in this podcast episode is, number one, let you know exactly what you should be doing when an influencer or somebody comes and stays at your property that you've got an agreement with, and how to make sure that they are put to best use when on your property and even post-stay as well. So let's just go through the process. You could be right now on Instagram, and you could be on Instagram on your phone, and you could come across an account, somebody that's got between say 10 and 20,000 followers who fits your ideal guest down to a T. So say that you are a family friendly business, you actively encourage families to come and stay with you. This person, you just think, wow, this would be an ideal person to come and stay at our property. Now you would reach out to said influencer and you would have a conversation with them. Now you may already follow them. You know, you may have already liked and commented on a couple of their posts. You may have even already messaged them in the past. But now it's come to the stage where you want to have some form of working agreement, because this is what it is. And you would reach out to them and you would say to said influencer, and let's just call this influencer Becky. So, hey, Becky, I've been following you for a while now. I think you've got a fantastic Instagram account. You've got such a lovely followers. I would love to have a conversation with you about you and your family coming to stay with us at a time that suits you and us. And, basically the agreement would be that you would come and stay with us for free. In exchange, you would talk about us on social media. You will do a blog post, maybe a YouTube video, whatever that may be, and you will come to that agreement. So some agreements are just a couple of posts on Instagram, a couple of stories on Instagram. Some agreements may be that there's a blog post and a YouTube video as well. It really does depend on the agreement that you and the influencer and the person in question comes up with. Now, sometimes it may be free. Sometimes you will offer to pay for them as well. It literally just depends on, number one, how big their audience is, and number two, are they used to it? I always find that a good way to find out the barometer on if they are used to working with brands or not is when you ask for a media pack or a media kit. If they say yes, then this is something that they are used to. They are used to the process, and they may be looking for some form of fee. If they come back to you and say, listen, I haven't got a media kit, then more often than not, then there will be no charge. Now, it doesn't matter if there's a charge or not. At the end of the day, you're still going to get quality work, and you can tell if you're going to get quality work because you can just look at the feed. And at the end of the day, if you've been following the influencer Becky for an extended period of time, you will know how good their work is. Now, what are you looking for? You are looking for somebody that is, number one, engaged, number two, somebody that interacts with the followers, doesn't just post and ghost, as we say. You are looking for somebody that is creative. So you're looking at somebody that's good photography, maybe does good videos, and again is really useful on the platform that you are chatting to them on. If they've got between 10 and 20,000 followers, and as long as they haven't done anything shady as in buying followers, then that will mean that they are pretty good at what they do. If they've done it all organically and done it all correctly, then that means that they're pretty good at what they do. So if you decide to work with Becky, and Becky's got 10 to 20,000 followers, and say that you come to an agreement and say that you're going to offer them a 2 or 3 night stay so they can come and her family can come and check out your place and check out the area, and say that there's no charge, so she doesn't charge you, and you're just doing basically a free stay for a shout out. Now, this is the part of the relationship that can go either way. Now, number one, hosts feel like they can't communicate with the influencer beforehand. I totally disagree. What I would be doing, I would be getting their WhatsApp number, I'd be getting their text number, and I would be just keeping in contact right up to this day. So I would be, number one, treating her just like any other guest. So, but I would be keeping in contact just to say, hey, so just let you know when you arrive, I'm going to be your point of contact, Becky. Any questions, please let me know. And again, if you want to meet and greet at when they arrive, perfect. If not, if you're just going to send instructions via WhatsApp, that's absolutely fine as well. But what I would be looking to do, I would be looking to take full advantage of having somebody with influence staying on your property. I would be looking and I would be reaching out to your local network. So days out, restaurants, anything that you name it, anything in your local area, call in favors and whatnot, and just explain that you've got somebody that is coming to come and stay with you. Somebody's got a big social media following. They're going to come and talk about the area. It's a great chance to get this name on the map. And what I would be looking to do, I would be looking to plan out for the 48 hours things to do for Becky and for Becky's family. So again, if you've got a days out that you can send them to, fantastic. I'd be putting an agenda, because at the end of the day, I find that when you do this, the influencer is just really impressed. Like Becky would be super impressed. And again, the more that she can write about, the more positive things that she can write about the area and about you, the better the end result will be. So again, it's up to you on how you structure it, who you structure it with, and how you arrange the activities. But I would be definitely looking to do that. At the end of the day, the more that you can have somebody doing on the property, the better. And I've obviously got to throw in the context. This is all after COVID and all of the restrictions and the lockdowns are over. I'd be looking to put this into practice now. So for when the lockdown is over, then you can be looking to take full advantage of this. Again, depends on when you're listening to this, depends on what's happening in the future, depends whether you're watching this live or on the replay with me, depends on where you are in the world of taking bookings right now and etc. But if you are in lockdown right now, and if you can't take guests right now, this is the perfect time to start doing
having a blast. Gonna get it on the Boostly podcast. Bruce Lee like Bruce Lee, cause it's so hard and the T is loose leaf. Making up those rhymes, don't write it, just do it loosely. If you want my respect, you better put direct. Here are the words in the podcast, that's what comes next.